I've talked about how important it is that we change the election system so that we can choose the candidate and the party separately. It's also important that each of our political parties has a plan for what they want to do in government. So how do we compare those plans? Because I think that's really important. It certainly isn't from the stuff that comes through our letterboxes, which is what probably most of it is what Mr. Trump would call fake news. We need a way that we can compare their manifestos. We also need to put some discipline around what they put in their manifestos. They only really put the things they want us to know about. I see their manifesto as a business plan for what they're going to do in government. So it needs to be in some degree of detail, and we need to be able to compare them. If every party writes its manifestos in the same format as each other, then we'll be able to compare between them. They won't do that unless we put some laws in place or some processes in place that insist that they do that. Then we'll have a much better way of comparing. And because I've worked in insurance and car insurance, most of us now use comparison websites. And I believe that's the way that politics will be going. So most of us, a lot of people now choose their partner in a comparison website using internet dating. Why wouldn't you use the internet to help you choose which political party you want? But you need to be able to compare them on a like-for-like basis. So the second point of the Charter is that we put some rules alongside how political parties produce their manifestos. So they're all produced on the same basis, and we can compare between them in a very methodical way. The second part of the rules that we need to put in place is they produce them to the same timetable. At the last election, the Conservative manifesto came out, I don't know, a couple of weeks before the election. We didn't have enough time to consider it. The Conservative Party themselves didn't have enough time to consider it. So we need to put some rules in place to control how manifestos are produced. And in the book I use the comparison of unions. So in the 70s, the unions were out of control. So Margaret Thatcher came in and she put some rules around how unions operate, about you need to have votes before you strike. I think we now need to put some rules alongside how our political parties operate, so that they operate in a way that works for us as the voters, and they produce manifestos that are on a common basis that we can compare between them, and actually they can't hide stuff that they're going to want to do, because there'll be a question there that asks them specifically, what's your policy on this?